you so much. Thank you so much for having us.
Moving on, the recent economic survey said that the rise of the digital economy, smartphone adoption and increase in digital payments have accelerated the e-commerce market, which is projected to grow at 18% annually through 2025. My colleague Ritu Singh spoke with Kapil Makhija, the CEO of Unicommerce, and Saahil Goel, the co-founder and CEO of Shiprocket, on the emerging trends and changing consumer preferences in the e-commerce market. Take a look.
We are quite bullish on the overall e-commerce growth story. Even in a recent study that we published along with Bharat Advisors, we projected that the overall e-commerce market is expected to grow to about $225 billion in the next few years. I think some of the trends that we are seeing right now are that not only are we seeing big metros growing, driving the e-commerce growth, there is a smaller towns, tier 2, tier 3, which are driving a lot of growth. And more importantly, we are seeing a new trend in terms of the D2C brands becoming house of brands and new roll-up firms coming up. And now I think we will see an era of them focusing on sustained unit economics and profitable growth. And more importantly, we will see as the ecosystem starts to get built around this, we will see more and more brands come from India going global. So we are quite bullish on the overall e-commerce growth story coming from India.
And Saahil, what is your own sense? What kind of volume growth are you anticipating this year? And is all of this going to translate into profitability for Shiprocket anytime soon? You posted losses in FY22. You've been on an acquisition spree as well last year. What is all this going to mean in terms of your financials as well?
No, I think completely agree with Kapil there. E-commerce is bound to grow. You know, India is a 6% penetrated market in terms of retail. Even countries like US are at 15, and our GDP growth is the fastest in the world at the moment. So the only way this is going to go is up, and that's a very normal way digital gets adopted. At the same time, I think omni-channel is a big theme, which we think this year both online brands going offline, offline brands going online, and tier 3 cities and beyond commerce, or Bharat commerce as we like to call it, is also a big thing that we are noticing in our data. I think that theme will continue over the next 5 years as the next 300-400 million internet users come online. And everything Kapil said about D2C brands, about e-commerce growth in general, completely agree with that. As far as our profitability is concerned, I think we are very much, it's on the cards in the next few quarters, and we've grown over 100% every year since the last 3-4 years. So I think it requires investments as well. But yeah, as you said, we are on an acquisition spree, and it should continue this year as well.
Okay, so we see more acquisitions from Shiprocket coming this year as well. Kapil, back to you. We've been talking about the incorporation of technology into logistics, AI, cloud, and whatnot, delivery via drones, dark stores. With all of this, are we at an inflection point for the industry, or what do you think are the major tech trends that may be game changers for the industry?
So I think some of the trends that you rightly pointed out are some of the new emerging themes that we are seeing, which is growth of hyper-local commerce, emergence of dark stores. We are seeing a lot of D2C brands, even in discretionary categories like fashion, investing in dark stores to make sure that they are able to deliver goods much faster to the consumers. Because the new age consumers are living in the Blinkit, Instamart era where every minute to the delivery counts. I think we are seeing a lot of brands invest in that direction. And more importantly, in the tier 2, tier 3, or the Bharat that Saahil referred to, is where the most of the growth is expected to come in the next 4 or 5 years. We are seeing a lot of investment of warehousing and logistics in those areas to make sure that the delivery times in those areas can go down. The second key trend we are seeing is newer categories emerging. So a lot of supply chains got set up for fashion and electronics, which drove growth until now. But we saw beauty and personal care category, pharma categories demonstrate growth in the last 2 years in the pandemic era. And now we are seeing categories like pet care, baby care, and many sports, home decor, etc. coming up, which will require different sets of supply chain coming in. And we will see technology investments in these to enable these supply chains, and as brands get into a house of brands category, this multi-category supply chain will become the flavor, and the technology will have to support this evolution in the supply chain.
Sahil, what is your sense of which of these business models will sustain, will thrive, because companies are burning a lot of cash, some of it may have to shut down. And also, if I could ask you, these changes in consumer preferences that we've seen in the past 2-3 years, thanks to the push from the pandemic, the technology, how many of these are really reversible trends, and how many of these are permanent shifts that are here to stay?
I think convenience will trump selection. right? And profits will follow. Look, for any ecosystem to develop, there has to be investment, and there are going to be things which will work and things that will not work. But it will elevate the ecosystem for everyone, and it will allow people to kind of, move forward. So I think it's important to give people that chance to be able to innovate. And at the same time, completely agree with Kapil. Eventually, every business's job is to deliver profits. So sooner or later, business models will change. Demand will get more dense. And it will work out.
One line answer from both of you. Kapil, starting with you. What is the volume growth Unicommerce is expecting in 2023?
I think we are hoping that similar volumes that we've seen in the last 2-3 years, so anywhere in the range of 30 to 40% e-commerce volume growth.
Okay.
So we expect to go even in this year.
Okay, and Saahil for Shiprocket?
I guess if the question is how e-commerce in India will grow, I align with Kapil on saying it will be between 35 and 40%. From a Shiprocket perspective, like I said, we expect to grow between 70 and 100% every year, and this year is no different.
All right, Kapil and Saahil, both of you, thank you very much for your time here on Startup Street. Pleasure speaking to both of you.
All right, so looking at 30 to 40% volume growth for Unicommerce and 70 to 100% volume growth for Shiprocket in 2023, say the founders. It's now time for a short break. Coming up on the other side, the special series, the Unicorn Health Check, and today the spotlight is on fintech startups. Stay tuned.